Greetings from the studio. This is your captain speaking. Aviate Nate here, and today we're talking about a time I almost turned back. Twice.
Clear to land, runway 21, Mooney 58 X-ray.
This was the day I planned to fly my Mooney out to Illinois for the big avionics upgrade. A trip I'd been preparing for weeks. I'd studied the weather, the terrain, the winds, everything I could think of, but no matter how much I planned, I couldn't quite plan this part. I live on the east side of the Appalachians, and if you've ever flown near them, you know what I mean when I say the Smokies earn their name. Morning fog, low clouds, unpredictable layers. It's gorgeous, but it's also a pilot's headache. So on departure day, I sat down with my weather briefing and there it was, a big purple IFR warning splashed across my route. It was surface level IFR, meaning I could potentially get over it, but just because something's legal doesn't mean it's smart. As a VFR pilot, the idea of flying over clouds sounds fine on paper, but if you can't see the ground and those clouds suddenly rise up and block your way back down, that's how you turn a learning experience into a full-blown emergency. I checked every weather app, every radar, every camera feed, and none of it really painted a clear picture. So I walked out of the hangar, I looked west, and there it was, a big wall of white. My bag was packed, the pre-flight was done, my ride had already left, and I stood there on the ramp thinking, maybe today's not the day. That was the first time I almost turned back. Then I remembered something my Mooney instructor, Paul, once told me. He said, "You can sit on the ground and check the weather all day long, but you've got an airplane. Go take a look. If you don't like it, turn around." And he was right. I didn't need to commit to the flight. I just needed to look. So I climbed in, I fired up the engine, and I departed, telling myself I could always come right back if it didn't look good. The plan was simple. Get up high enough to take a good look over the ridgeline. I expected the clouds to top out around 8,500 feet, and I could stay legal and safe above them. Once airborne, I called ATC and picked up flight following for the trip west. Since I was flying VFR westbound, I requested 8,500 feet, but as I climbed, it was clear I'd need more altitude to get clear of the tops. I asked for 10,500, ATC approved, and I kept climbing. That's when things got interesting. At just over 10,000 feet, ATC came back with, "Mooney 58 X-ray, we've lost your altitude. Can you reset your transponder?" So I started pushing buttons on my old Garmin 327, trying to get it back online, but no luck. Then as I descended slightly back below 10,000 feet, it came back. That's when the thought hit me. I've got clouds ahead, I've got a malfunctioning transponder, and I'm leaving a safe airport behind me. It's that pilot's gut feeling, the little voice that says, hey, this might not be the day. For the second time, I almost turned back. But instead of panicking, I paused. I asked myself a few questions. Was this an emergency? No. Was I in danger right now? Also, no. I called ATC, told them what was going on, and asked if it was okay to continue. And honestly, this is where I have to give a huge shout out to air traffic control. They were calm, accommodating, and professional. They said, no problem. We'll just check in periodically for altitude reports. And that's what we did. They worked with me all the way to Illinois. No issues, no pressure, just teamwork. When I landed, I felt this intense satisfaction. Not because everything went perfectly, but because I didn't panic. I thought through each problem carefully. The clouds weren't an emergency. The transponder failure wasn't an emergency. And by staying calm, using good judgment, and communicating clearly, I turned what could have been a stressful flight into a great learning experience. And yes, when I got to Illinois, you better believe I added a new transponder to the avionics list. Every pilot faces those moments, the ones that make you question your decision, your preparation, or your confidence. Sometimes turning back is the right choice. Sometimes you just need to climb a little higher and take a look. So, the next time you find yourself second-guessing your go, no-go decision, remember this. You don't have to have all the answers before you take off. You just have to know when to stop, think, and make the right call. Thanks for letting me share this story with you all. If you liked the video, a thumbs up is appreciated. Until the next one, this is Aviate Nate, and you can be my wingman anytime.
Clear to land, runway 21, Mooney 58 X-ray.